The CFL Gambling Podcast Week 6 preview, picks, and DFS edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with the promo code, our promo code, TCE SGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
CFL Gambling Podcast Week 6 preview and picks, home of the huge tits parlay. Yes, we are back, and we had a fire, just week of football as far as from a gambling point of view, but also from a fan point of view. Fantastic stuff to me when I see a huge dust up fight brawl after the game. I think that's great for the sport. If you're wondering, first off, hop on over youtube.com, hit that like and subscribe button. CFL Gambling Podcast. We're on Twitter at CFL Gambling Pod. So do that. And if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
It's a small world when you've got unbelievable tits, right?
Oh yeah, let's go, man! I was close to cashing a gigantic Pam Anderson huge tits parlay. Close, but no cigar. Fun week of football action, though. I am joined by my co-host. He's also the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Subscribe, tell a friend. Give it up for Justin Mark, aka No Turn, No Going Back. J Mark, how are you, buddy?
I don't know what you're gonna do if I keep cashing some bets and can afford my tractor that I'm trying to save up for, and I won't have the No Turn no more. Then what?
Something organic will happen. All right. You see, is that official? The No Turns on the trading block.
It's on the trading block. These subcompact tractors, not to derail us into farming talk, but they're so fucking expensive, man. It's like having a car payment. But if I could have a tractor that
if you could have a tractor, I'm sorry, continue.
No, you're good. I mean, for where I am and what I do, everything we do around here, if I can have a tractor that has the quick connect mower deck, is 4-wheel drive, and has the loader bucket, whew, that's something I need.
The loader bucket. All right. Huge. You don't get a tractor if you don't get the loader bucket. I'll tell you that right now. As a guy that mows his front yard occasionally. Shout out to the chat, Mac the Ripper there. I pulled up because it was the home of the Big Tits Parlay. I was not disappointed. Wow. Okay.
He's saying I got some big titties.
Yeah. Okay. Mac the Ripper. Mac the Ripper just coming right in. Buddy, let's talk about these games because, I was on VSiN Sports Gambling Podcast Friday night and obviously gave out some fire plays there. And then I was on VSiN back-to-back nights, actually, Thursday and Friday. Or maybe was it Wednesday? Actually, I'm sorry. It was Wednesday and Thursday because of the 4th of July. It started off with a bang, and we inch closer and closer to hitting that over on the Calgary Stampeders. 6.5 wins. We're looking pretty solid there. I also have that, I believe 35-1 ticket for them to win the Grey Cup. The Stampeders 37, the Winnipeg Blue Yonders 16. I do believe you said this Winnipeg team was the best team in the land. And I said,
I did say that.
No, those are the Stampeders. All right. Or Saskatchewan. I forget what I said, but I think I said Stampeders. Buddy, this was dominance. Yeah, you sent me an angry text in the mid-second quarter saying, I'm done. This game's over. Go fuck yourself and your family. I mean, this was just domination to the utmost. And yeah, I'm curious your thoughts because yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy is Vernon Adams, he didn't even need to have that great of a game. I mean, he did 13 of 18, 222, 2 touchdowns, 12.3 yards of completion. And our boy Dedrick Mills got in the pay dirt again, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Your thoughts on this game?
Well, first of all, he's almost becoming a lock for anytime touchdown. It was at plus 165 this weekend. I took that. I don't understand why it's plus 165. I mean, he's got more touchdowns than anybody in the league as far as running backs right now. They're not afraid to give it to him. Okay, the score is dominance. The yardage is not. So Winnipeg did have more total yards. They had 408 to 334. So it's a little misleading, but when you watch those teams, they looked different. Winnipeg did not look dominant. Calgary did look dominant. There were a couple turnovers there, and then Winnipeg's red zone efficiency was terrible. They just couldn't get the job done. They couldn't put points on the board, and obviously, if you don't put points on the board when you get into the red zone, you're going to lose the damn game, and that's exactly what happened.
And I'll also say, when you have 2 pick sixes, especially from the distance, wasn't one like 70 yards?
Yeah,
that's gonna skew the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, this is one of those games where, you know, I was saying I doubted Zach Claros's arm last year. It did not look the same. It did not look like he had the zip on it anymore. And then he started off fire this year, and I said, I take that back. In this game, he looked that way again. He looked like how they started last year, where it was slow. The throws were a little underthrown. He was looking at his receivers too much. I don't know. It concerned me a little about my Winnipeg future.
Shout out to 1560727, best CFL podcast out there. Appreciate you. I mean, look, I have futures on 3 teams, and they're looking pretty fucking good, by the way. What could go wrong? Hamilton, Calgary, and Winnipeg were the 3 futures I bought. Right now, Calgary's 13-1 to win the Grey Cup. 3rd worst in the league. Why does Vegas hate this team so much?
That's an excellent question. I mean, we talked about that to start the season. 6.5 wins was their win total. And they've proven that they can beat teams. They've proven that they can do it in different ways too, right? Because they can have Vernon Adams not throwing touchdowns, still win the game. Their defense can score points. The run game is good. I don't get it. I don't understand why they're getting faded so much by the books.
Yeah, I think you personally, like, if you want to just step back for a second, right now, according to DK, Alouettes plus 275 for the Grey Cup. Rough Riders plus 350. Winnipeg plus 400. Some value there. Hamilton plus 900. Argos plus 1,000. BC plus 1,100. Calgary plus 1,300. Ottawa plus 1,500. And the Eskimos plus 4,500. I mean, I'm still a bit. This is every time I check the books, this is me.
Well, I don't get the brain man cold,
But they're counting down 7-6-5.
I just don't get it. But all right, I would encourage someone hit me up. Shout out to. Let me see if I can correct this. I'm not very good at keeping up with everybody, but someone hit me up. I'm drawing a blank. A couple people hit me up, but one specifically was asking me if I would still buy the future on Calgary. Yes.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel better about it because we've seen a 4-game sample size. Before we were
13-1, still a great price.
Yeah, before we were coming into the dark, and I just thought the roster was really talented. I thought Dickinson's a proven winner at the coaching spot. So, I would jump in on that action, and
and for me, like I said, if it was just that the run game was good, or just that the defense was good, or just that Vernon Adams was carrying them, I would say, okay, they're going to get found out. But they've been a very well-balanced team.
Yeah.
And well-balanced teams usually continue to win games.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to Nick Fleming. It was Nick Fleming hitting me up about that. So that was game 1. I felt when this hit, I was talking shit. I was walking around the house. My wife hated me, right? I'm just going like this, walking around the house, order another pizza. I'm not even hungry. Order the pizza. And then I said, honey, watch, the Argos are going to win on the money line tomorrow because I'm a fucking genius. And the Argos went up 7-0. And I said, baby, I'm a fucking genius. And then the Ticats managed to put up 1,000 bajillion. What did Biden say? Whatever number Biden said. 51 points. The one game that I got wrong this weekend. And how about Lawler's performance? Ate a bundle of shit here, and I think we can officially. It's kind of a good spot for me, though, if I may say so, with me having a Hamilton future. And let me ask. Let's go back to that conversation. They're plus 900 still. I think Hamilton's playing the best ball in the East.
Yeah, and they absolutely have the best receiving core. When you factor in Kenny Lawler, Tim White, Drew Wolodarski is not healthy yet, so he's been out some games. But then once he comes back, that's a guy that he's not a league winner type guy, but he's consistent, right? He needs to be, or he is where he needs to be. He scores some touchdowns coming over from Winnipeg there. So, I mean, absolutely, I would love to see their defense tighten up a little bit. But in the past several years, that's not been Hamilton. It's been outscore everybody, right? And they can do that right now.
Yeah. They have been. I mean, last year they had the number 1 offense in the league. I'm still curious to see how this all shakes out, because like right now, BC's got the number 1 offense in the league. I kind of like Hamilton's like in the middle, but it's too early still. I think you'll see some teams, separate soon. But yeah, I look, do we officially stick the fork in Toronto, or I guess
I did that at the beginning of the season. What are you talking about?
But if Chad Kelly comes back, he is the best player in the league.
Chad Kelly.
All right. And he will buy you a new tractor if you just be a little kinder to him. I'm a bit baffled at how bad Toronto is. Giving up 51 points at home to a rival is shocking to me. So
I warned you about this team. They had a huge amount of turnover, right, on defense and offense. Their whole defensive line, multiple defensive backs got moved out, and Nick Arbuckle, a guy that he's thrown more career interceptions and touchdowns, that concerned me. And I didn't like the feel of it. Plus, I pointed out that Mike Hogan, the guy that covers Toronto for Toronto, he pointed out that last year, aside from the Chad Kelly injury, which happened in the semifinal, they had like historic good health, right? They had very few injuries. Now you're seeing everybody get injured. So it's like what comes up must come down type of effect. And I don't know if they're going to bounce back. I've heard some rumors from folks that if they continue to lose games, they might not even bring Chad Kelly in. They might put him on the injured reserve, keep him out. No point in him re-aggravating that leg. I mean, that was
he's getting the LeBron treatment.
Yep. That was a bad break. So if they feel that they don't have anything to play for, why risk it? I also think once he comes back, I mean, is he going to be as efficient because of how bad that break was? I mean, we all saw him, if you were watching the game, holding his fucking leg on with his sock. It was disgusting.
Well, though, he's they say he's known in the local circuit as a big swinging dick. All right. So maybe he'll be able to handle all that. So I mean, by the way, Hamilton is scoring the most points in the league right now. It's weird. They're further back offensively. They're middle of the road offensively, but they're the number one offense as far as points per game. It is a little too early to, I guess, officially rule out Toronto, considering that they're a game back.
They are. My biggest concern with them, it's not the defense, it's not the Nick Arbuckle, it's the run game. They can't run the ball for shit. You had Kevin Brown 8 for 22, a 2.8 average. If they can't fix that, because Kadeem Carey ran the ball for them very well last year, if they can't fix that, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I'm surprised how bad the defense has been, and I thought that was a gut check game the game prior where we cashed on it. But no, that was a blunder on 4th of July. July 5th. And by the way, it came to my attention when I came into this episode that remember we had news when we did the show last Wednesday. We thought it was going to be Jeremiah Masoli / Chase Bryce against McLeod Bethel Thompson. We said, if you get news that any of the teams are starting their starting quarterback, you have to take the team with the starting quarterback. And then I was on VSiN Friday night there, or Thursday night up there, giving out BC on the money line, and this was a sweat. You can actually there's a college football experience episode where I'm sweating this out while talking college football. And this game of the weekend, in my opinion. I don't know what the fuck the Alouettes are thinking defensively on that final drive. BC 21, Alouettes 20. Huge brawl after the game. Football was back, baby. But yeah, I cashed a money line play here. Short little yapper. With the BC Lions. Who'd you take here?
I took same thing. If any of the starters came in and the others was not, I said to take them. As soon as I heard Nathan Rourke was playing, I tweeted out that I was switching to BC to cover. Technically, I know that Hamilton closed as a favorite, but they were a dog when we did our show. So every dog covered and won outright this week. So that was interesting.
Yeah, it was. And what'd you think of the defensive performance by Montreal down? What were they thinking? Just going to the fearing the Hail Mary so much.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, you got a couple different factors there. You had the unsportsmanlike conduct after their field goal, which affected the kickoff. And then we were able to get a good kickoff to kind of get them into maybe position. But it was like, they're like, hey, they don't have enough time to get in field goal range. Let's just prevent a Hail Mary touchdown. It was a bad call. I will say I was impressed that Montreal pretty much controlled this game, even with them not having their starter and BC having Nathan Rourke there. I thought, holy cow, I can't believe they're going to pull this off with Nathan Rourke in. That concerns me if you're a BC fan. That concerns me a little bit.
Well, at the same time, this kind of saved their season because if
true.
they lose this game, they're sitting there at 1-4, and Saskatchewan is 4-0. Calgary and Winnipeg are 3-1, and those teams all look really good. So that win could be the catalyst in them making the playoffs, in my opinion, because I still think they're the 4th ranked power rated team to me in the West, but look, they're playing in Edmonton this week. You get that game, you go to 3-3, you're in the mix, man. So that game was fucking critical, in my opinion, on the way it went down, and something to pay attention to moving forward. What's that?
Sorry. Just real quick. I also enjoyed all the complaints that, well, the TSN clock said there were 0 seconds left. Who gives a fuck what the media clock said? They're not the ones at the game controlling the game. The game clock didn't say there were 0 seconds left.
Well, just the way that the game of football is played in the CFL, you cannot go into that because under 2 minutes. I don't know that I like it personally, but it does make for more drama. Clearly, and you can't play like that kind of defense to me. With the rules like that, it's like, man, every time they get up, the ball is stopped, and obviously when the clock hits 0, you still have a play, right? It's a tricky thing to play like that.
You and Luke Wilson both hating the way that games are managed as far as the clock goes in the last 3 minutes there.
I mean, look, I just think you can't play. Well, here it is. If you're gonna do that, you cannot play like that.
Yeah,
you cannot be like, here's 12 yards, here's 9 yards, because who cares about, like, timeouts almost don't even matter.
Yeah.
I don't hate it because it makes for high drama, but it is a little gimmicky. I'll say that. Little bit gimmicky. Shout out to BC though, and what's crazy is Rourke still had a pretty fire day. He threw for 352, 9.8 yards of completion, and then was their leading rusher on the ground with 43 yards.
And a rushing touchdown, yeah.
Yeah. And then the easiest call of the week, the Eskimos get off the schneid. It's 39-33. I watched this whole game, but it wasn't on my main TV. I was watching some other shit, but this kind of went the way. I mean, it seemed like the Eskimos were kind of in control majority of the game. There was a little bit of a stretch late second quarter to early third where Ottawa had made a run. But Ottawa's terrible. It's what they get for not doing their little tackling drills. You know what I mean? A bunch of little sissies. Is Villa Gomez still doing that Ottawa Red Black podcast?
he hasn't given up on them yet. I did get Ottawa comes out, score, and it's 15-3 at the end of the first quarter, and I thought this is easy. And then I got a little nervous there. Edmonton, yeah. I got a little nervous there because Ottawa put up 14 points in like a minute and a half. It was very bang bang, and I thought, well, shit. Now there goes Edmonton, being Edmonton. But credit to them for hanging on, battling through. It got closer than it probably should have, but I mean they looked decent. Trey Ford did very well. They did a good job at running the fucking ball. That's what this team should be doing. They should be running the ball, playing off of the RPO, because it opens up the whole offense. And they have two really good running backs, plus Trey Ford who can run.
Yeah.
That's how they should play every single game.
They have an identity crisis, dude.
They do, yeah.
Last year they had this shit too. I felt like once they were like eliminated, they were like, fuck it, let's just run the ball. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they figured out, I hope they look at that and they go, holy shit, this works. Because
your future's still alive, buddy.
It is.
The way, what was that win total? 8.5?
I think it was 7.5.
That's what I thought. Yeah. 7.5. Hey, you're alive. All right, look. We'll give it a game ball. Well, who was the best performance the whole weekend?
No, for me, easy. Kenny Lawler. 6 catches, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 120 yards a game.
Hard to disagree with that one. And another one that I was going to consider was, and I guess he's quietly done this. Bo Levi Mitchell's having a fire year.
He is.
He's back. You know what I mean? Whatever happened last year, we thought he might have been long in the tooth. 332 yards, 5 touchdowns. So I'll give a game ball to the great Bo Levi Mitchell.
He's still long in the tooth, but he's performing well.
Yeah. He's not like McLeod Bethel Thompson or
right.
Yeah, some of the others that we've seen. Folks, want to let you know the CFL Gambling Podcast is part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can listen to every single one of our podcasts on this network for free just by subscribing to the SGPN feed. So wherever you listen to podcasts, just type in SGPN and you'll get access to all of our stuff. UFL Gambling Podcast, Old Fashioned Football Podcast, College Football Experience, Bottom Line Bombs, CFL Gambling Podcast, like 40 different podcasts. So do that and let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. You think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There's no rake too, so if the entries go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Millions. You pick 5 NFL teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in the Circa Survivor. Look, I know the NFL is a shitty product these days, but you can make $21 million, guys. What are we doing here? There's even the Circa Grandissimo for $100K Survivor contest. So I mean, look, we know the kickoff rules are ridiculous. They're very communist, but you can still get rich. So why not enter? Why not enter? You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook, or at the Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas. Great excuse to book a trip out there. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. Plus, we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the CFL, the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, college football and NFL futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to MyBookie.ag, but when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Let's hop in. Only 3 games this week. What's going on with that shit? Why they mess with my summer? All right. You couldn't put you can go 3 games in like September when there's 10 billion other football games on, but I want my extra fucking football game.
I'll tell you what pisses me off. The wife's out of town on work travel, and I was thinking that's great. Thursday night, I'll have CFL on the big screen, be blasting it, and then I look, no Thursday night game. Fuck those guys. At least the college football game comes out that day, so I got plans, but
there you go. Well played. Well played right there. Because I was going to say, what are you going to be online watching videos of fucking tractors? Right?
Right. No, that comes out. And keep an eye on SGPN's website, because I've got some articles coming out, the MVP, the national championship, the best bets to make, all based off of simming this season. So keep an eye on that. It'll be kind of fun to see what the video game nerds think this season will play out like.
That is true. That is true. I do like that action. So Friday night, at least if they're going to give us 3 games, they're giving us a banger on Friday night. The Calgary Stampeders are heading into the Wales Regina to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Saskatchewan's laying 4.5, the over under at 53.5. And I personally find it insulting. Last time they played back on October 26th, Stampeders were having a shitty year, but they still put the kibosh on these Roughriders. I'm on these Stampeders money line play. Whew. Money line play. I'll also take the under 53.5. I'm fascinated by this game, though. These are, in my opinion, my 2 highest power rated teams in the league right now, with Winnipeg being 3rd. But yeah, Calgary money line, best team in the league, most complete team. Like, I can trust their quarterback, a little bit more. Now this is going to be an intriguing game, J Mark, because one of the knocks to me with Calgary a season ago was their run defense.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teams, we've made a note of it, they seem to be kind of little bitches about committing to the run. Saskatchewan is one team that I think will make them, like, that we're going to see right now if the run defense is really legit. But give me these Stampeders. I think they're a little bit more complete of a team, and I like the fact they're dogs. That us against the world mentality. What are you doing here?
Yeah, for me, this was a tough game to pick. I will make a note that next year when it's about to be the Calgary Stampede and you have the Stampede Bowl. You got to take the Stampeders. That was a big win for them. Big win over Winnipeg. And, some teams that can get a little, they'll celebrate that win too much. I don't think this unit is going to do that. I think they're a very well coached team. But Saskatchewan has had 2 weeks of rest. Trevor Harris is back. He's practicing, so we won't get Jake Mayer in a revenge game. Unfortunately, that might have been kind of fun, but I think I'd rather see Trevor Harris and AJ Alouette, obviously, like you said, one of the best running backs. This one was so tough for me, but at the end of the day, I think it'll be a close game. I don't think Calgary's winning it, but I think it's going to be a close game, 3 to 4 points. So yeah, I'm right there with you with Calgary and the points. I'm not there with you with Calgary and the money line. Not doing it, man. But I do like the over. I think this game, I think the offenses get going, and I think they both put up some points. So yeah, give me the over.
I can't talk to this son of a bitch. I can't talk to that son of a bitch. I really can't. I can't.
You don't have to talk to me. It's okay.
To take the points, this just reminds me that there's just times in life, where there's people that go for it, and there's people that sit back on their no turn. All right.
Fuck it. Fine. I'll take Saskatchewan.
There we go.
You're going to bully me into it. I'll do it anyways. Saskatchewan -4.5. They win by a touchdown.
Oh man. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. All right. What do you think of that total? I'm on the under.
I like the over. I think both offenses are going to put up some points. Find a book that will let you parlay AJ Aouellette, Dedrick Mills, anytime touchdowns. Right now, from what I was looking, these books are afraid and won't let me do that, but find a book that will. And because I think that's a lock.
Yeah. And by the way, Vernon Adams. Anytime. Well, no, because I don't know. That defense is pretty good. Alouette +100 anytime score.
Smash it.
Mills +130, like you said.
Smash it.
Can't wait to watch that game. That's the game of the week right there. Game 2, Saturday night. The Ottawa Red Blacks. Drew Brown. He did put up some good numbers. Heading to the Hammer. Hamilton, Ontario. The Ticats are laying 5.5 there at Hamilton Field. Over under at 55.5. I'm going to go on the under on this one too, by the way. Ottawa won the last matchup 37-31. They can't be scoring that many points again, right? I'm just no way, right?
Hamilton just put up 51 points.
That was a rivalry game, though.
I suppose. On the road.
I do like Hamilton in this spot. I will lay the 5.5. Probably it's the game I like least, though. I'll tell you that. But I am gonna lay the 5.5. I don't like normally laying 5.5, but Ottawa's fucking terrible. They're gonna fire our guy, right? Dice, right?
They have to, I think. Yeah, they are pretty bad, and I thought I had high hopes for them this season. I thought they had a pretty complete roster, but it just has not come together yet.
We bet the under. We bet the under. Remember that?
That's true. You're right, because I said I was going to be a little more optimistic on the Rod's Wood Cookie Sawcast.
Well, they were a big number
Ottawa
too, man.
Sawcast. They were. It was like 10.5. I think. Yeah. No, this team should be performing better when you look at it on paper. It's just not. And so in my opinion, when you look at it on paper and you go, man, they've got the talent, they've got this, but they're not winning games. That comes down to coaching, right?
Yeah.
Playing
bitch ball.
Playing bitch ball. I agree. I'm with you on Hamilton. I've seen it at -5 on some books. I like that even better, but I'll take the 5.5. I think that they're going to be able to move the ball as easily as they did against the Argos. And because of that, I also like the over. I think Ottawa can get some of that second half momentum where they put up some points, but Hamilton's already ahead far enough. So I like the over in this one, even though 55.5 is a big number.
Yeah, it's too
I
big
think
for me.
the smart thing is probably to do what you're doing and fading it because it's so big since Hamilton did just put up 51 points. Are they likely to put 51 up again? No, but I do think both teams are going to score. So I'll ride the over. I'll risk being wrong. Why not?
There we go. Well, Sunday we get the BC Lions heading to the Edmonton Eskimos. Oh man, I mean, BC's laying 2.5. The over under at 51.5. I will take the over here, by the way. I love BC here just because I know they had a walk-off win and a brawl. Is there suspensions, by the way? I guess
I haven't heard
I didn't
yet.
pay attention to that.
I watched there was one clip of it where somebody was saying, there's no place in football for that. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Let them have that emotion. Let them have that aggression. Come on. It's a physical, violent sport.
We lost our minds as a society. Like that shit is why we want to watch.
Hashtag cater to the pussy.
Yes. Cater to the pussy. All right. I'm all over BC here. Edmonton got their first win in like 10 years. It's not sustainable. And they even let Ottawa come back into the game. BC's going to right their wrongs. I told you, by them winning that game, I'm telling you, that saved their season. They know that. They go into the Eskimos territory and get it done. I like laying the 2.5. It is my second best play of the week. Man, you can make a case. It might be actually it's probably the lock because Saskatchewan's proven that they look so good. I think this is the best board or the best bet on the board for weeks. What is it? 7? Week 6. So yeah, load up on the Lions. What are you doing here?
Yeah, so gambling, we'll say 201, not 101, because 101 is your very basics. Gambling 201 would tell you, oh, BC is coming off of this emotional comeback. They kicked a field goal with 0.2 seconds left to win the game. That's usually a team you would fade going into the next week. But Edmonton coming off their first win, they're dumping the Gatorade on the coach because he gets his first win. You would generally fade that when you bet the next week as well. So both of these kind of a fade. But BC's the better team here. I think Edmonton looked good last week, but I don't trust the coaching to keep running the ball. If they commit to the run and they commit to running RPOs and they say, hey, this is our identity, sure, they could win this game. But I don't trust them to do that. And so, yeah, I think BC, like you said, they got that win. It gave them hope of shit, guys. Our season's not screwed. We need to keep our foot on the gas. And they're looking at Edmonton saying this is a winnable game. We need to stay focused and win this. So we're back ahead in the season here. So yeah, I absolutely agree, which is kind of scary because we almost had agreement on all sides here, but you did bully me into Saskatchewan.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Well,
because I'm on Hamilton, I'm on BC. I was going to be on Calgary in the points, but not to win. But yeah, fuck it. I'll take Saskatchewan in the points. But yeah, I like the over in this one a lot as well. Both these teams are going to put up points.
Yeah, and
what's that smell? You stink.
But dude, they played on June 7th. BC won 31-14. That was what a month ago. Can Edmonton improve that fast? Perhaps. We'll see. But I like BC in this spot. I think it's the best bet on the board. You know what I find fascinating right now, J Mark? BC has the number one offense in the league, 389.4 yards per game. Right? However, they are dead last in points. Right?
Right. Put that under shit that don't make sense.
And then look, defensively, you know who's the best team in the league yardage wise? The BC Lions. They have the number one offense and number one defense when it comes to offensive yards and defensive yards. Now, they also give up, what is it? The 5th most points. It's somebody make it make sense.
Well, you had Jeremiah Masoli throwing pick sixes left and right for a while.
That's true. That's probably what it is, actually. That's probably what it is. But still, the number one offense, the number one defense in the league, the BC Lions. So lay that 2.5. I'm going to power rank these plays to me. Number one would be the BC Lions. Number two would be Calgary. And 3 would be Hamilton.
Interesting.
The dog is Calgary money line. You're Chalk City over there, right?
Chalk City. Yeah. Breathing in the chalk. I'm like fucking LeBron over here, clapping my hands, chalk in the air. That hurts to say. I hate LeBron. Hamilton's my top play, followed by BC and then Saskatchewan.
Wow. Okay. All right, folks, look, it is time. Let me read an ad and then we will dive into some nice, big old, huge fake tits. Parlays, guys. But before I do that, I want to let you know that the CFL Gambling Podcast, the CFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best place to play fantasy football. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code, TCESGPN, to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer. Up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Yes, they do have CFL action. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a game-changing new feature called Power Trends. Essentially, the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm, and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. And don't look now, but the MLB Power Trends are 254 and 147. That is a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their last 400 bets. WNBA Power Trends, 35 and 20 since they launched. That is 63, almost 64%, with a 20.7 ROI. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back, and it is that time. This is the one. I felt like I was knocking on heaven's door last week, and I feel like this is
excellent song.
This is going to be the cover of the original.
Yeah, I love them both, man.
Really, I'm OG all day here.
Yeah, I love them both. My band used to cover more of the cover style of it, so it's hard not to hold a place in my heart for that one, but gotta love the OG as well.
Yeah, I think the OG just has a little more soul. You know, you can feel the soul in that thing. But yeah, that is a great song. So folks, it is home for the huge tits parlay. Yeah, welcome to the Pam Anderson huge tits parlay. Yeah. All right, my huge tits parlay of the week will be, and shout out to legendary CFL scout Pam Anderson there. But whoa, I'm going. I have the Ticats, all 3 games. We only have 3 games. BC Lions, Ticats, and the money line play of Calgary Stampeders. You put $50 on that, you are making $529 and a little bit of change. Ooh. What are you doing, folks? Jump in on the action. Time for some action, like Cypress Hill said. J-Mark. It's the no turn huge tits parlay of the week. Yeah. Huge fake tits. Huge fake tits. J-Mark, the BC Lions you're taking ATS, the Hamilton Ticats ATS, and then dare you go for an over in BC and the Eskimos, correct? Is that what it is?
That is what it is. What could go wrong? Throwing in a total there. Seems like every time I put a total in my huge tits parlay, it's wrong. But not this week. Not this week.
And $50 will get you $305 and change. In case you're wondering, folks.
What I like best about this one is that you agreed with all those plays.
I did.
You can't not like it. Now I know the huge tits parlay is not as huge as yours. The 50 paying 305.
You went with some like knockoff, ones that are done in like Bolivia or something. Like you don't even need to sign a waiver. You're just gambling. You're going all in gambling here.
That's right.
My one, big time. All right. I'm in Beverly Hills at the top doctor's office saying, let's go for the glory. All right, let's get to DFS because I'm going to kick your ass in DFS as well. Obviously 3 games, it's not as fun DFS, but I still like my lineup and I still feel like I'm definitely going to win all the money that's out there. All of it, everything DraftKings has, I'm coming for you. I did, I was bored. So I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going on a $20 lineup. Sometimes I do 5, sometimes I do 10. 20 fucking smackaroos.
What's the payout in that one?
I think it was $7K, I think, if memory serves me correct. Doesn't it tell you down below? I think it's $7K. That quarterback. I mentioned this guy just had 5 passing touchdowns. I know it's a rivalry game, chance for a come down. Not buying it. Bo, Levi Mitchell against that garbage ass Ottawa defense. 9,900. Load me up. That's my QB. What are you doing here?
I mean, cue the music, right? I could afford everybody but Nathan Rourke. That's all right. I didn't want Nathan Rourke. I wanted Bo Levi Mitchell. Like you said, coming off that big game, is he going to throw 5 touchdowns again? Probably not, but he has still played very well, averaging 23.6 fantasy points. So yeah, how can you not?
Great minds think alike. That's what they say. They always say, Then at the running back spot, I did pay up $8,200.
We better not have the same fucking lineup.
Well, I feel like you just have to roster this guy.
I agree.
AJ Alouette. Why would you not roster AJ Alouette? So, yeah, that was the logic there, and he's the best. He's not scoring the most touchdowns, but he's probably the best running back in the league thus far this year. If I had to talk out of my ass a little bit, what are you doing here? What was your logic on rostering him?
I was going to say, I like how your original logic was, why would you not? I mean, it's hard to beat that. If you look at it, 96 yards, 91 yards, 139 yards, that's last 3 games. They obviously commit to the run. They're not afraid to do so when a lot of these teams are. He's not involved in the pass catching game as much, but he has a reception in each of the last week of both over 10 yards. And for 8,200, there are more expensive options out there. I think he is the one running back that you can look at and hey, he's going to get carries. Whether they're winning or they're losing, he's going to get carries. And now he's got a week of rest. He's going to come out and just tear it up.
Yeah. I just think you have to roster him. He's especially knowing Calgary's rush defense historically has not been that good. Yeah. Sign me up. Did you roster another running back?
I got 2 other running backs, actually.
I have one as well. I'm going to put you in the mind of Pick Dundee for a little bit here, unfortunately. I was contemplating. So my first thought process was Dedrick Mills. I wanted to get him, but I was like, I don't know. Saskatchewan's run defense is pretty solid. So I was deciding between Kenny Lawler and Dedrick Mills, even though there's a 1,400 price difference gap. I ended up rostering them both, but I'm curious your thoughts.
I'm really interested to hear your bargain players, because you had to have bargain players after that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go wrong with Dedrick Mills. They obviously have been giving him the ball a lot. He's got the most rushing touchdowns out of running backs, so it's hard to argue that. And then the stack of Bo Levi and Kenny Lawler, especially when he's averaging 120 yards per game, you'd think, well, somebody's going to figure him out eventually. Well, they haven't yet. And I also have Kenny Lawler. So our first three players, we have the same. I do not have Dedrick Mills, though.
Turncoat bastard. You're taking him plus 130 to score a touchdown, but yeah, not roster him.
Yeah.
What's going on? He's walking a tightrope.
Well, I didn't get as creative with my money, I guess. That's why I said I'm really interested to see what you did.
So give me another running back then.
Yeah. So my next running back is on the Ottawa Red Blacks, and that's Daniel Adebaboye. Had to look at his name to make sure I said it correctly.
You were practicing that in front of the mirror for the episode.
Right. Adebaboye. This is a guy that I think Ottawa is going to be behind in this game. And when they are behind, he gets involved in the pass catching. He had 46 receiving yards last week to go with his 39 rushing yards. I think that's going to be a big part of Drew Brown dumping it off to him when they are behind. And I think that's going to kind of be how the game flows. And he's 6,200. Because I have AJ Aula and Kenny Lawler, I had to get a little creative with the money. And around that price point, he's who kind of jumped out at me. So give me Daniel Adebaboye, who is averaging 9.4 fantasy points a game, but he has 2 in the last 3 games over 10 points.
Woo! Okay. You like rostering that guy. You've done it a solid amount of times there.
Yep.
So my next play, this is where I'm taking a few gambles, and you can convince me otherwise, by the way, in this particular spot, because I didn't really want to roster him. But at 6K, I went with Julian Grant for the Eskimos. Now, the reason why, the logic was this: he only had 2 for 14 last week, but the game prior, he had 5 for 115 and a touchdown. So I thought at 6K, it's a decent shot. I expect him to be trailing, to pass the ball a lot. Is there a better play on the board for me for less than 6,300?
I mean, I think it's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. And what do you think of the play?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good play. I mean, I like that they have KJG and KGJ, because they also have Curly Gittins Jr. And it seems like those guys kind of trade back and forth on who's leading the team in the targets. And so if you follow pattern, this would be the week that it would be KJG. So, yeah, I like the play. I think it's good. I have a couple guys. I have 2 now to give out that are 5,900. I don't know if you'll like them better, but they are intriguing to me.
Go for it.
Well, I'll give out my last running back, since I have another running back still. I said I don't trust Edmonton to keep running the ball, but what if they do? Javon Leake. I know this is Justin Rankin's backfield, but Javon Leake still gets carries and he gets receptions. I mean, at a 46-yarder. And on top of that, keep in mind, real kickoff, real special teams plays, and those do count for your points. He's had 163 return yards last week, 130 the week before. He just scored 20.8 points because he had a return touchdown. I like how much he does get involved, whether it's running, catching, or special teams. So yeah, Javon Leake, 5,900. It was just one of those bargain guys that it's like, I think he's worth more than that. So I'm going to take him.
I like it. Do you think he's going to outscore Julian Grant this week?
Well, he gets those special teams plays. He gets the real kickoff. Julian Grant does not return.
You've convinced me. You've convinced me. 5,900 you said, right?
Yeah. Well, you can't have a lot of money left. What do you have, a peanut for your last player? What?
Let's say I'm bargain shopping.
Yeah.
All right. And my last player besides my defense.
Yeah. How much money's left?
I have an extra $400, by the way, that I'm not spending. But I'm taking you to the Calgary game. Last week, well, first off, Reggie Begelton's out for the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Malik Henry, their other wide receivers, out for the year or out indefinitely. Well, Clark Barnes is questionable, and I don't know that he's going to play. So you saw last week, former Syracuse Orangeman wideout, Damian Alford, scored a touchdown. Now, he only had 2 catches, 22 yards, and a touchdown. But I think it's with how dinged up they are at wideout, I think it's worth a shot to take Damian Alford at $2,700.
Whew.
Scored
I think
what's that?
The logic there is good. I like it. I agree with you. Clark Barnes banged up. He is not practicing. I don't think he is going to play either. So to get somebody for $2,700 that now they are going to have to rely on,
and scored a touchdown last week. So it's like feel like, hey, okay, he did his job last week. 2 targets, 2 catches, didn't drop the ball. Confidence from the quarterback there. Sign me up. Did I convince you?
I mean, it convinced me it's a good play. I'm not going to put him on my team, but I do like it. Yeah, Jalen Philpott's got to be pretty cheap too, right? I mean, I think he's in the 5,000s.
Someone's going to catch the ball there for them, right?
Yeah. Philpott would be a good play as well. I like it. Speaking of Clark Barnes, we had the Barnes versus Philpott game for the Bourbon last week. Barnes outscored him.
Philpott did more yards, but because Barnes had more catches, right? Fucking
and a
bullshit.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Didn't
Philpott almost have like double the yards?
Something like that.
Tough.
He had more
tough.
For sure.
That's a tough play right there. So what's that put you up 1?
Yeah.
Bastard.
Took a 1-point lead, and I don't think we have anybody to face off against each other.
3 games. It's hard, man. We'll just push it. Don't force it. Push it to next week. Defensively, hold on. Now that I have this extra $400.
Well, I got one more player while you're looking.
Fire. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries. Another player that I have for 5,900, Khalil Pimpleton, because of the injury. My guy who got 6 catches for 68 yards last week, and because of the injury to Dedmon, he also is now returning kickoffs and punts. He had 120 return yards last week, and I believe a return touchdown as well, maybe. But yeah, he scored 20 points last week. He's starting to pick it up a little bit more. So yeah, give me Khalil Pimpleton for 5,900.
Long time play by us. Both of us have rostered up with him a decent amount. Yeah, not bad. Defensively, even with the extra $400 I have sitting there, I can't get better than what I have. I took only one. The bottom 3 defenses, I only took one of them to win. So I will be sticking with my stamps at 3,500 as my defensive play. What'd you do with the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I had exactly 3,500 left, so I only had one choice, and that was the stamps. That's a game I could see. I could see why. I know I took the over, but I could see it being low scoring. I mean, both these teams have won games with low scores, so I could see that happening. And again, I really didn't have a choice. I don't trust Trevor Harris to light the world on fire. I trust him to manage the game well, but not light the world on fire. So even if I do think Saskatchewan's going to win, I don't mind taking the Stamps defense.
There you go, folks. That's our show. Just like that. We give out the heat for the streets, and 3-1 last week ATS. I'm looking to go 4-0 or 4-0. It's not going to be this week. All right, looking to go 3-0 this week. All right. We'll be back next week, probably on Wednesday. But hit us up. J Mark's on Twitter at JMarkFootball. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The CFL Gambling Podcast is on Twitter at CFL Gambling Pod. And we will be back to talk about the action. Friday night's game is the best game to watch, man, right? That's the one you're most excited about?
Yeah, I think that's the one that has the most chance of being a close game. I think the other ones are decided.
Yeah.
Now, famous last words, but
there we go.
That's how I feel on it.
Check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'll be on VSiN talking CFL again this week. And also check out the College Football Experience, breaking down every team in the land. Till next time, folks. This is the CFL Gambling Podcast, home of the huge tits parlay. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here. Run and shoot.